Hi guys, it's Joy, and if you saw the title of today's video, it might be a little bit confusing because I just did a video talking about how much I really liked the Chris Hansen documentary and how much it really spoke to me. So now why am I going to say that it's so bad? Well, initially on watching it, I did like it. I still stand by it. I do like it. That doesn't mean there aren't issues that I see with it. And also, and I figured this was going to happen, guys, I figured a lot of the YouTube community was going to really hate on this. And I can understand why, because Chris Hansen became such a controversial figure on YouTube. Back when in 2019, when he started this investigation, I was asked to be interviewed. I was asked to try to be a part of things. I said no. I said no for several reasons. Number one, I was not in the right health state. I was not in the right mind state. And I knew where this was going. I was like, this is going to devolve into a crap show. It's going to be a lot of false promises and then a lot of infighting. If you've been around YouTube long enough, you kind of learned the drama cycles, and I didn't want any part of that. I still don't really want a part of any of the drama, necessarily. I say that, but then I talk about things like this. I don't know. There's like some people have different broader definitions of what drama is. I like to just do commentary. That's how I like to see it, but who knows? So I want to talk about some of the criticisms because not only did I see things that I wasn't super happy about, on top of that, there are a lot of other YouTubers that have some criticisms, and I think some of them are very valid. And then I'm going to give you my overall opinion. My overall opinion is I like the docuseries thus far as I have seen it. I want you guys to understand, is the docuseries 100% accurate? No, it's not. So people who are giving that criticisms, they're absolutely right. But let me ask this, do we really expect it to be? And the reason I ask that is, and I'm not here to attack anybody, okay? I have respect for all the YouTubers and their opinions out there. But I've heard people who were saying he got a lot of stuff wrong and he's supposed to, really be the person that's supposed to help this situation, and he had a team with him and he should have gotten stuff right, and that, as YouTubers that, kind of to an extent it was, we make sure and do our due diligence and get things right. I want to actually put out there how incredibly false that is. I can't tell you how many YouTubers consistently get stuff wrong all the time and they don't care. I can't tell you how many videos have been made about me that are lie after lie after lie. People don't care. They didn't come to me. They didn't fact check. And even if they didn't want to come to me, ways they could verify, they didn't. Many YouTubers literally just share gossip. And there are little groups of YouTubers, and I don't want to call people out, but there are groups that kind of run around in these little, junior high cliques and packs that all make the same content at the same time and go after the exact same people, and they don't necessarily each one individually do their own investigation. They just kind of take what the other one does. It's in my opinion, it can be a form of bullying. Sometimes it's a good thing because there are people you need to be enlightened about what they're doing on YouTube, but many times these people just want attention, get desperate, they'll go after anyone. I had over an hour-long video about me, mocking me, telling me I wasn't really sick. My weight issues weren't because I was sick. I was fat and disgusting, and allowing people to be able to just insult me up one side and down another. And the whole thing was the person had said, I'm doing this because I want people to doubt you. What does that mean? Let's break that down, because that's a fun little buzz phrase, isn't it? I'm doing this video because I want people to not trust you. I want to build dislike and suspicion around you, so I create a toxic environment for you here. I want to create toxicity, negativity for you here, and in that way, I'm choosing to be a bully. I have been bullied over my spirituality that nobody even knows what it is because nobody's even really asked me. So I do find it interesting that people want to hold Chris Hansen up to this godlike status because YouTubers are such better people. No, many YouTubers are just gossipers. And many of them, as much as they can do good, also do a lot of damage. There was one YouTuber who actually, there was somebody that threatened to end my life several times. Confirmed it, said it wasn't a joke. And there was a YouTuber who actually did a video and defended this person. And then when I called them out, because I called them out, we had a conversation, said, oh, I didn't know. I have videos on my channel. You didn't even go to my channel. You didn't do any research. And another thing, you could always reach out and ask me. So I'm just going to put it out there. I really don't buy that criticism that we should hold Chris to a higher standard because YouTubers, I'm going to tell you, not all the time, but many times they're pieces of crap, guys. They really, really are. I know because I've been through that ringer. anything to get attention and anything to get a few coins. Now, not all of them are like that, right? But there's enough of them that it has left a horrifically sour taste in my mouth. And I have just been slandered and lied about and ridiculed and just been horribly mean to, just bullied over what people assume is my spirituality, which is not harmful to anybody. Just because I have some new age beliefs, like I have Christian beliefs, Buddhist beliefs, Taoist beliefs. It's interesting because a lot of this community used to be Christian people that then turned into atheists. And they got angry when they were bullied for being Christians, and then they got very defensive and decided they were right fighters and being atheists. So then you're not allowing anybody else to have any spirituality. And the whole premise when it came to me was assumption. Well, we assume you could do something bad with this in the future. So I'm being charged with thought crime, and we're going to ruin my reputation over it. So my point in this little mini rant is to say, I don't buy that we should hold Chris Hansen to any higher standard because YouTubers are better people. Now, with that being said, let's talk a little bit about Chris Hansen. So I can completely agree that Chris Hansen, as many have said, and I watched from a distance somewhat. I had girlfriends who were really on it and they were really looking into it and giving me the information. And then since I've come back to YouTube, I've dove into it myself. Even though they always give me good info, but I like to look things up for myself. And from everything I saw, Chris Hansen overpromised and underdelivered on this platform. Again, though, welcome to YouTubers. The majority of YouTubers are going to be like this as it is, unfortunately. Also, if you took a look at any of Chris's past history, his past history was a blatant indicator of why he would be coming on this platform now. I remember the first time I heard about this, I was like, isn't this the guy that got in legal trouble for like writing bad checks and this, that, and the other? And that was just stuff that I kind of knew off the cuff and that nobody researched him. But why did nobody do their research on Chris Hansen? Because they got excited and they saw an opportunity to get attention, grow their channels, and get a few coins. That's why. Why is it everybody who jumped on the Chris Hansen bandwagon then jumped off? And that's also, guys, and we understand that's also part of the drama or this type of community that we're involved in. They will jump on something, be gung-ho, and they will use it for everything they can with attention. When that attention dries up, they have to create attention elsewhere. So then they start nitpicking and criticizing or bullying one another. I think a lot of times this criticism stuff is just, just bullying, in my opinion. So you get this really weird dynamic that goes on and all of this infighting, and it becomes so negative and so toxic. This was one reason I really didn't want to come back to the side of YouTube, but I also think I have good things to say and I have, information that I would like to give people over here and that I could do something again here. And I wanted to do that. So I thought I'm not going to let all of these people who have just lied about me and bullied me and been horrible continue to do that and me not do the things I feel called to do in my soul. So Chris Hansen comes on and that's, again, just everybody jumped on the bandwagon and then suddenly he's so horrible when you guys could have figured out a lot of these things had you done your research. But Chris Hansen needs to do everything perfectly. First of all, people are saying he works with a team of people, this, that, and the other. Now, I'm going to tell you what I think. I highly doubt Chris works with a big team or that he did making the documentary. Now, I know every situation is different, but from my understanding, Chris was not in the best financial position coming on YouTube. In fact, that's why he was on YouTube. Many people who are failed entertainers in the entertainment industry come on YouTube. You're looking at one of them. So this is an outlet that we can use when we didn't get into the big leagues of Hollywood, or like Chris, when you ended up leaving or getting removed or, what have you with his situation. So I doubt he was able to really hire a team of people to really help him put this together specifically. I'm not saying he didn't hire some help, but some big team and corporation behind him, I don't think so. I think what he did was he might have worked with a couple different people, filmmakers, producer possibly, and an editor, and they put together a story, they put together a docuseries, and then they sold it to Discovery Plus. They sold what they created, or they sold the story. They sold the rights of the stories of the victims, right? So I don't think it was as big as what people are saying it is, and I also think if they were just either given the documentary or sold the rights, in that case, they are going to mostly go off of what Chris says. I don't think they're going to necessarily have a big investigative team fact checking, but do you really think the media does stuff like that anyways? Do you guys realize, you know why we like YouTube? It's because, why do people not like the news? We know how much the news lies to us consistently. The news is constantly lying to us, and they rarely even make retractions from it. Welcome to media. Welcome to Hollywood. And welcome to YouTubers themselves. So, and again, look, criticize Chris all you want for these things. All I'm saying is YouTubers aren't any better. This is just the entertainment industry. Now, I think I had seen from Creep Art Show, which I really like her, by the way. I had seen from her video, which I didn't know, and I don't think I would have known, and most of us wouldn't unless somebody spoke about it. She said that Discovery came to her and gave her the information ahead of time and asked her to do commentary on it. And basically, she was like, they want me to promote this for free, and it's crappy. I agree. I mean, I agree with her. I agree with her sentiment. However, with that being said, I'm sure part of the selling point in this is that Discovery is not a real huge, and it's not one of the big players among the networks. And so from a business, marketing, and advertising standpoint, probably one of the sells was that the story sells itself because so many people are talking about it. So if you give these people early access or information to this, they will talk about it anyway because they're going to end up making money and getting views. And this ends up getting us free advertisement and publicity. On their end, it's actually a brilliant marketing, PR, and advertising move. It's, like I said this in the last video, it's actually pretty smart. So to hear YouTubers being really upset about that, like, I don't know. I don't really think it matters that much, in my opinion. Yeah, I just don't think it matters. I mean, look at them as another brand. If a brand is coming to you and they're trying to make a deal that's not good, you just don't do it. And they have every right to criticize that. I'm just giving you my perspective as a businesswoman. I actually thought that was very smart on their, in what they were doing. There were some things that weren't accurate in this. And one of them, and I'm going to agree with this commentary, is that Chris Hansen was the one that really took this story and made it what it was, and this, that, and the other, and they kind of made him the hero in this situation. I think we need to give Chris credit where it's due. Chris made this story blow up bigger than it has in a really long time, maybe if ever. But the people I remember first hearing any criticism about Onision, for me, it was The Amazing Atheist. And I remember when these things happened with Shiloh, I remember seeing like The Amazing Atheist, back then I saw Repsion. I remember The Amazing Atheist video where he was like, look, I know we have our differences. I know that you're a meat eater. I'm not. I know that blah, blah, blah. But it looks like she's having a seizure, and this is like serious. This isn't just entertainment. Go get her help. So many people on the YouTube platform were like screaming at him saying, this isn't funny. This is not entertainment. Get her help. Or if it is entertainment, you need to specify that. It was a very, very big situation. As well, I came on the scene in 2017 screaming about the situation, and I really shone a big light on it. I'm not the one that did it though. I think what's made this story what it is so many concerned people coming together and raising their voices, not one individual person. And the problem with Chris is, and I'd said this before in another video, I think that Chris came on over-promising and under-delivering. But guys, I think Chris came on, as he says, I'm an investigative journalist. He came on looking for a story to sell. It doesn't mean he doesn't care. It doesn't mean that he's not wanting to try to help on some level. But at the end of the day, Chris is a businessman. Chris is about protecting Chris's interests. Just like all these YouTubers that will make videos and completely lie and sometimes even side with predators. I have evidence of all this, by the way, guys. They will do this routinely, never make an apology video, never own up. Why? Because it would make them look bad. It would hurt their business. YouTubers are protecting their business just like Chris. Why are we holding Chris to a higher standard? It's because on some level, we think being on YouTube elevates us from those creepy, awful people in Hollywood. Even sometimes, though, we can do just as bad a tactics. Interesting how that works. I'm not giving Chris a pass in this. I'm just saying, why are all these YouTubers coming at him when many of them, if they either do the same things or if they don't, they support and promote a lot of the other people that do. And that's where I get really frustrated by the hypocrisy of what I see on YouTube consistently. So let's talk about Chris and this hero thing. I agree. There are things that are kind of exaggerated with this. This journalist that, did this piece on Onision and Chris coming together and them acting like they're the ones that were outing them, more so Chris. I get that there's a lot of factual inaccuracy, and I get the vibrato that can really make people uncomfortable. I understand that. Here's the thing. This is a docuseries, but this is also coming from the world of entertainment. There are going to be things that are a little bit exaggerated. There are going to be things that they're going to make maybe look a little bit bigger or a little bit creepier or what have you. That's just mainstream entertainment, guys. And furthermore, honestly, this story is so awful and so creepy, I didn't mind them building that emotion into it for people, especially, remember guys, sometimes as YouTubers or viewers, we forget the rest of the world doesn't have any clue what's going on in YouTube. It's so interesting because in being on this platform, this is something that I've realized over time about YouTube, is that many YouTubers, when they get on this platform, they have this ideal, or the people that watch, and we get so wrapped up in the things we're watching and the people we're watching and the dramas play out and the people being attacked and who's defending themselves and who's horrible. We get consumed by it, and it's like a lot of these people think that everybody else in the world is consumed in it in the same way, and they're not. I can't tell you how many people made it a game and a sport to try to ruin my life and make sure I could never have a life even outside of YouTube. And for a while, I was convinced that was going to happen until I realized, almost all the rest of the world doesn't care about their internet stuff. They just don't see that because they're so wrapped up in their own little thing and they feel self-important, right? So, I know I'm getting off on tangents, but again, this kind of got me irritated. Most people who have known nothing about Onision, I'm okay with the story being built to maybe a little more dramatic and suspenseful and building that emotion because they haven't been invested in it the way we have. So Chris and his team, or whoever has made the documentary, is trying to create that so people can understand the depth of what somebody like Onision does and how it has really destroyed young women and people on this platform. So overall, I've heard the criticisms. I get it. I like the docuseries. Anything to me that's going to put to light what somebody like Onision is doing and the loopholes and the pitfalls in YouTube for somebody like Onision to rise to the top and do what he does, I'm all for. It's not going to be perfect, guys, but nothing is. And if you think any of these YouTubers giving criticism actually hold a candle to the perfection they're trying to put everybody else under, it's crap. And if you really start looking into what they're saying, looking into the details, looking into the content, you will see all of the cracks start shining through. I once had a YouTuber who implied that I really wasn't that I was homeless, and I really wasn't homeless because I was living out of my car. I once had a YouTuber that said I really wasn't bankrupt and I could be in bankruptcy trouble because I still had a vehicle when I went through bankruptcy. And most people went, oh yeah, that's right. And I would say the loud minority, the people who you're going to hear that the loudest, thought it was great. But most people with a brain were like, that's not how that works. And a lot of people didn't question it. And that's why when I hear criticisms from a lot of these YouTubers about certain things where they hold everybody to this crazy high standard, knowing how they act and knowing what they do, I kind of giggle to myself about it. I'm like, really? Really, y'all? One thing that and I'm still looking into a little more, but I would agree with the criticisms on, are that I do feel like in many ways a disservice was done to these other girls that came out and spoke who didn't want their story shared. Now, the good thing is that it seems like their stories will not be part of this docuseries. The problem is if their stories aren't part of it, you're not getting the complete picture of how deep and horrifying this rabbit hole goes. But the other problem is that, so for whatever reason, nobody from either Chris's side or Discovery's side communicated with the girls who had gone through all this stuff. They hadn't communicated that their stories weren't going to be shared. So they were, for weeks and months, having all this anxiety, feeling horrible, going, I don't want this stuff out there about me. I don't want this to, I don't want to be involved with this. And people are selling my story. They're selling what happened to me behind my back and profiting off of me. And once again, I'm being victimized. And I can totally relate, and I have all the sympathy in the world for anybody who feels that way. I want to say that wholeheartedly. I really, really do. I 1,000% agree with that. I think overall there are many things that should have been done differently. I think Chris should not have come on dramatically and overpromised an investigation. What I'm hoping from this What I'm hoping is that maybe through this docuseries, more information will come to light, and maybe it will be able to help do an investigation. Maybe Chris will turn around with a 180. Maybe something will happen. I'm not saying that's going to happen. I'm saying I'm trying to give the benefit of the doubt that maybe something good can come out of this. And that's what I want. On this channel, I want to educate young women. I want to educate people about these types of behaviors so they don't fall into the same patterns that women like me, that we've all been fighting for decades and then centuries before that to try to become equal and respected in society and not hurt, especially as young people. So I'm happy. I'm very, very happy in that respect that this is coming to light. And it's not going to be perfect, but I want you guys to know, take the criticisms with a grain of salt. Because remember, some of these YouTubers, not only are they not better than Chris Hansen, they're like 20 times worse. Not all of them. Some are great and great intended, and some aren't. And some are a mix. Some people do some good work, and some people will then just go damage people and laugh about it and think it's fun and get off of it and not care. Just because it's a YouTuber doesn't mean that they're in the right, doesn't mean they care, doesn't mean they have good intentions. So I just kind of wanted to put that out there, but guys, overall, I liked it. I really liked it. And I think if you've been through trauma, this is something that you can relate to. The one that I related to the most was Shiloh's story. And funny enough, I don't know if it's going to go up now or later or when, so be watching for it. But Greg has now come out trying to say that Shiloh was the abuser and she's this awful, terrible person. I've got a lot of insight coming from Shiloh's point of view and from being in Shiloh's place that you might be interested to hear. So make sure and stay tuned for that video because I'm going to give you insight you might not hear a lot of other places. You might, but typically a lot of the things I say end up not being like either super popular or like mainstream-ish narratives. So, or in popular YouTube, conversation. So yeah, I just wanted to give my perspective. I didn't think it was that bad. I liked it. We'll have to wait and see what happens. I'm not okay with everything Chris has done, but I'm also not okay with the majority of the people that are accusing him of stuff, what they did either. And you know what? I don't hold hate in my heart to them. Even the people that have been horrible to me and lied about me and really actively tried to ruin my life, I'm in such a happy place and so full of gratitude about how much better I physically am that I was able to get help. I let it go. I really, really let it go. And I wish everybody well, even the people who've done horrible things to me, I wish them well. I don't wish them ill will. I just want to caution you guys that I do think, regardless of everything else, there is a very positive, powerful element in this situation going on with the fact that more people on a mainstream level are going to know about this situation. And I think that is a very big gift to everybody who's watched and everybody who's been involved. I hope we find out some more interesting things. I thought it was interesting that Shiloh said she later found out what happened to her. This episode that Greg will talk about, where she goes, I want something about being a rainbow or I'm a kitten. I forget what it is. And she started freaking out and forgot who she was. Then it was like a trauma-based seizure. And I have a video talking about how I went through something similar for a while, and watching that video brought up a lot of that stuff and I felt to talk about it. I think these conversations are good to have. I think keeping the conversation going, I think this is a good thing to do. So I would say let's leave a little bit of an open mind for this docuseries, and hopefully it will do what it was intended. Well, it was intended to make Chris money. He probably did make money. But it's also, I think there's an intention to help people. So let's hope that happens. Okay, guys, if you like this video, if you like my perspective, please give me a big thumbs up, like the video, subscribe, and then hit that notification button so you can know when I'm uploading and what comes out. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section. Do you think I'm off base with this? Did you like the docuseries? Did you not like it? Are there things I'm missing? Let me know. I'm not here to be mean or to attack anybody at all. I'm just giving you guys the reality of how YouTube can work and how YouTubers can work, and my opinion on the docuseries Chris Hansen, the allegations, the criticisms, the controversies. Share this video if you think other people would like it. And yeah, I guess I'm just going to go make other content and get ready for another day. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you guys so much for listening. Take care until the next video. I'm wishing everybody lots of love and giving y'all hugs, mwah, and kisses. Bye, guys.